From the headlines that move us
to the plays on the field and the people making a difference.
It's news, sports, and stories that keep our community alive.
This is the Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
I'm Christopher Ingram.
And I'm Sarina Fazan. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Hello, Sarina.
Hello, Christopher.
You are looking wonderful today. You've been off gallivanting around the world again last weekend.
You're so funny. Thank you for saying that. Do you think I look a little bit more tan?
You look great. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, you look tan. So you have been out on a boat tour, like vacation with your boyfriend for a few days in Sarasota, and then you were in Chicago over Father's Day,
yeah,
right?
over Father's Day. So that was really special. But you want to hear something so crazy about Father's Day?
Yeah.
So here we are in sunny Florida, right? Father's Day, I'm not even kidding. The rain is pouring down. Not on Father's Day itself, but on that Saturday. I mean, windshield wipers.
Up in Chicago.
Yeah, up in Chicago. So I have took some video too, we could throw it up, you know, but yeah, no, it was crazy. So what a difference.
What a difference, yeah.
From Florida to
we haven't
Chicago.
had rain in forever, and last night was what? Tuesday night? What's today? Anyhow, we finally got rain. I live in South St. Pete now, and we finally got rain, and then it rained again this morning for about 30 minutes, and the sun was as bright as could be. My dad used to say when it's raining and the sun's shining, it means the devil's beating his wife.
Really?
Yeah, it's like an old Southern saying.
Get out of town. So. Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so, if the sun is shining and it's raining, the old saying was the devil is beating his wife.
Oh, wow. So you learn something new every day.
I mean, I don't know if that has any value. Probably get some hate mail from domestic violence survivors, but which we take very seriously.
Yeah, we
do.
We know, honestly, we do.
We've had great organizations on talk about that. We take it very seriously.
So
we got some great stories to talk about today.
We sure do.
We have crazy NFL arrest, football-related news right here in Tampa. And then we've got John Morgan, his big announcement. We're going to talk about that for the people.
And we've got some really interesting animal stories.
Yes.
I mean, from a skunk to a giraffe.
A skunk and a giraffe.
Yeah, and then also a story about surcharges.
Yeah,
which
and restaurant surcharges.
Right.
And that, we'll talk a little bit about tipping too, about that just in general, I think is a good topic. Okay, so the Detroit Lions player, his name is Terrion Arnold, and he was 2024
first round
pick?
Draft pick.
Yeah.
And in fact,
in the first round, not the first pick, but the 24th pick of the first round.
Yes. And oh my gosh, so he's tied up in a pretty horrible scandal. Now he
right
says
here
that
in Tampa.
Right here in Tampa, he says he is innocent, that he's going to clear his name. This happened back in February, but he just turned himself in, this week. Apparently, he rented an Airbnb, and during his time in the Airbnb, $250,000 of property
belonging to him
was stolen. I would imagine like jewelry, things like that. And so you want to pick up the story from there, because what happened next was just nuts.
So I guess he was his own little detective, and he thought that he figured out who the perpetrators were, a bunch of young teenagers, and he and some of his accomplices allegedly,
and this is allegedly,
lured those teenagers to a location where they were then allegedly beaten and pistol whipped by NFL player Terrion Arnold and a couple of his associates.
And apparently according to the report, he was not there, but it was streamed to him what was happening. Like they took a video, the accomplices, and was showing him what happened in real time.
Right.
And of course he's denying
his
all of this.
Claims he's innocent.
Yes.
And the people that have also been charged are a bunch of convicted felons who are looking for a lighter sentence by implicating Mr. Arnold. But nonetheless, he is charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and armed robbery, including pistol whipping.
And you know what? And you want to hear something that's, oh my gosh, so sad. The 3 teenagers, right, that were lured, they're saying we're innocent to begin with.
Right.
Like we
didn't steal anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but and again, there's so many crazy details, right, to the story, and we keep on saying allegedly because he's saying that he did not do this. But here's a guy, though. It was a 3-year contract, $14 million.
$14 million, the big signing bonus, right?
$7 million.
$7 million signing bonus.
Signing bonus, and athletes, of course. So many people, especially young kids, you and I have talked about it, look up to athletes. And even though he's saying he's innocent, his name is tied
forever
to this,
associated with this.
Right.
Yeah, guilty or not, unfortunately.
Right.
But it goes. It needs to be said that there are a lot of NFL players who get themselves in trouble because I think that the NFL and the teams let a lot of these guys down. Like, let's face it, a lot of them come from the inner city. They're very poor. They've grown up with nothing. All of a sudden, they have millions of dollars in their checking account, and they go out and they just squander it. They're giving money to their friends. They're buying fancy cars. They're living the high life. They're traveling. They're buying jewelry. And the average NFL player, I think, plays like 3.5 to 4.5 years.
Very little.
So after your $7 or $8, $20 million is gone, like, you're over with. And most of these guys didn't really study in college. A lot of them probably can't get a really good job, and they've got nothing to show for the hard work that they did to get to the NFL.
And the saddest part is, though, they definitely could have retired very comfortably with all the money that was made.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, it's not invested properly, or extreme generosity. They're giving it away to so many people, family members, or as they say, so many people that come out maybe have the woodwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sad. I mean, you could easily retire on all that money.
Yeah.
But I wanted to pose another question to you. You and I love sports, of course, especially
football.
Yes, especially pro football. When you and I were growing up, though, if a ball player was accused of something like this, or convicted, we'll say convicted, because if you're innocent, you're innocent.
Your career was over with.
Yeah, it seems to me that the NFL is tolerating.
You think they're more tolerant today?
I don't know. I'm asking. Do you think it is, or do you think the other question? It begs the question: are they more tolerant, or we are so much more well aware because of social media, because of we get so much more information now?
That could be too. That could be.
So I'm not sure.
I mean, I think the NFL does take this stuff seriously, but at the end of the day, what is the NFL?
Other than the National Football League, and it's
it is a money-making machine, and every single thing that the NFL does, bless its little heart, including all the charitable work that it does, at the end of the day, that's all done to build the image of the NFL and to make more money. And so, their level of tolerance for indiscretions of their players is limited to however much money they think that person can or cannot make for them.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a cynical view, but I think it's true.
Well, I was going to say that's probably, like, for lack of a better term, the sad reality of it, right?
It really is. Follow the money.
Yeah, follow the money.
Well, it remains to be seen what happens here, but we had a picture of him. I think we're going to throw it up, or might have thrown it up on the screen, but he's in an orange jumpsuit, and I'm thinking maybe he could go work for the Broncos because they were orange.
Oh, my God.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, John Morgan.
Okay, so...
For the people,
wherever you go. I mean, honestly, I was driving, I've been crisscrossing the state too on another national project that I'm working on. And every city you go into in Florida, it does not even matter. There he is. There's a billboard of John Morgan.
Call me.
I love your invitation. Bless his heart. And honestly, you've met him too.
I've met him a couple times.
Yeah, he's very down to earth. And
I think we talked about him on the show before, but I don't like. Two things about John Morgan I don't like. He's far to the left of me politically, for the most part. I mean, he's not super left. I shouldn't say that. He's a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, okay? He's not super lefty, but he's a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. And he's a trial lawyer. And I'm not a big fan of trial lawyers because if you don't like the fact that, they have to do all this stuff when you go to the doctor's office and fill out paperwork and check off boxes and all that kind of stuff, for example, it's because of trial lawyers, right? If you read stupid warning labels, like on a curling iron, don't put in your eye, it's because some lawyer, got involved with the lawsuit and, whatever. But I will say this about John Morgan. He is one of the most charismatic, funny, self-deprecating people. And I've told people before, I've lamented that if I had to be stuck on a deserted island with another man, I would pick John Morgan.
Really?
Yeah, because he would be entertaining and fun, and he's wicked smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I might have to do all the heavy lifting because he's a little bit on the, not super fit side, which he freely admits. And you know what he told me one time? He said, I watched sit out in the sun because tan skin looks a lot better when it's fat, or fat skin looks a lot better when it's tan.
And that does not surprise me that he said that. He is quite something. And I have to say, he also does project such a caring, for whether you believe in what he's doing or not, but genuinely one of those people that really, I feel like, cares for the community, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's very interesting what he's done.
So his new political party name, right? So he announced a few months ago that he intends to start and form a new political party in the state of Florida. And he was looking for suggestions on what to name the new party. And he offered a $100,000 prize to the person or persons that come up with whatever is ultimately selected as the name of the party. And they announced it. He announced it this week.
Yeah, and the name is honestly brings back a lot of memories for you, because the name of the political party is Common Ground.
Common Ground. Yeah.
And didn't you do a show called Common Ground
I did
on Bay News 9?
I did at Bay News 9 several years ago with Alex Sink, the former CFO of Florida. And we did a show, and it was her on the left and me on the right. And then we would take topics like abortion, gun control, school choice, whatever, and we would try to find common ground. And so we would talk about maybe 6 or 7 different issues on the subject of abortion. And, Alex would be like, well, no, I'm absolutely pro-choice. And I'd say, well, I'm pro-life. But we could agree on things like, 24-hour waiting period or parental consent, that kind of thing. And we're trying to find common ground, which is, I think, what most people are looking for in politics. And so I think Morgan's really onto something.
I know, it gives me goosebumps, actually. Like, even just what you said, that, the name of your show was this. And people, the bottom line, I feel like people do want the best thing, right?
Yeah.
And you may not agree, but you want the best. So there is some common ground that can be found on any topic.
There is nothing to be gained on the left or the right by living in an echo chamber, right? I used to tell my kids when I taught journalism at the University of Tampa, watch both Fox News and CNN, read both the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, because the truth is somewhere in between what those two different entities, in TV and on print are reporting. And you need to know what the other side thinks, how they think, why they think it, in order to come to a compromise. And so many of us today just want to stick our head in the sand and be like, plug our ears and say, like a little 4-year-old, no, I'm not listening, I'm not listening, and just get what we want. And that's not how politics works. It's not how it's supposed to work.
No.
It's supposed to be about compromise.
So how are you feeling then about Common Ground?
About Morgan's thing?
Yeah, about Morgan's
Look, there have been a lot of third-party efforts over the years. In Florida, we were talking about this earlier. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of political parties registered in the state of Florida. Most of them have like 100 members, if that, right? And they're rarely on the ballot. But, I think the most well-known third party was Ross Perot when he started the Reform Party.
Right.
And I think their biggest claim to fame outside of Perot was Jesse Ventura, who was the governor of Minnesota under the Reform Party banner. I think there might have been 1 or 2 other lower level office holders that I'm not familiar with, but he was pretty much, that was the pinnacle of the Reform Party. And it's pretty much dead now. Like, no one even talks about them anymore. To form a third party and to be successful as a third party in this country is extremely difficult, because the two main parties, the Republican and Democrats, are so well entrenched. And here's another little aside, kind of backroom insight that I can offer after spending 10 years in DC and 25 years in politics helping people get elected. There isn't a dime's worth of difference between the Democrats and the Republicans when the TV cameras are off. Because every political candidate in Washington, D.C., I'm talking about, national politics, Congress, they care about one thing. What do you think it is, Sarina?
Well, the publicity, of course, right?
It ain't the people.
It's the publicity.
It's themselves and their publicity to what you're alluding to, so that they can get reelected. Their number one goal is to get reelected. And they recognize that in order to get reelected, they have to play the game and they have to maintain the status quo. And part of maintaining the status quo is maintaining the two-party system. Yeah. So there is a disincentive among the party elected officials in Washington, D.C. from in any way, shape, or form encouraging a third party or passing laws that would make third party and third party candidates more viable. They don't want that because that's more competition.
Right.
But you got somebody like John Morgan, who I think is like a billionaire, and he gave away $100,000 just to come up with the name. And actually, they said 250 people submitted the name Common Ground.
Wow.
So those 250 people are going to split the $100,000.
Yeah, isn't that something? Well, I mean, he definitely has a lot of people's ear. Yeah. So you never know what could happen.
Yeah, we'll see. But he's a character.
I know.
I have just to tell one more story about John Morgan. So years ago, when he was advocating for the medical marijuana bill that finally passed in Florida, I did a story for the Tampa Tribune when I was writing columns for them, and it was a front page Sunday story. I interviewed him, and I interviewed former Hillsborough County Sheriff David G. And Morgan was for it, G was against it. Anyhow, so then that paper came out, and the next time I saw John Morgan, I brought the paper, and I said, hey, would you sign this for him? He's like, oh, I'd be happy to. And I said, will you write for the reefer, John Morgan? And he turns and he looks at me and he goes, you're a troublemaker, aren't you?
He has such a sense of humor, yeah. He's fantastic.
Okay, enough about John Morgan. Restaurants.
Restaurants. Oh my gosh, so this is crazy, and we've got to credit News Channel 8, because News Channel 8 is the one that did the story. It's on Row. It's a restaurant in Hyde Park. It's actually one of Sammy's.
In Tampa.
Yeah, in Tampa. It's in Hyde Park Village. It's one of Sammy's favorite go-to places. So a customer gets the receipt, and on the receipt, they see this charge. And it says what? Surcharge.
3% venue fee.
3% venue fee.
Venue fee.
And so they're like, okay, what is this 3% venue fee? They pay it, and then they bring it to the attention of the consumer. You have Channel 8 and the consumer reporters.
And what do they call it? Better Call Bankin'.
Yeah, Better Call Bankin', right? And so they go to Row, and the management at Row says, oh, this is very common. Everybody, according to this story too, it's really common. Well, apparently the Channel 8 investigative team went to all the other restaurants in Hyde Park, and no one else has a surcharge.
Right, no one else has it.
Yeah.
And I think they went to Row's parent company offices, and they said, oh, we don't know, you need to talk to our marketing people or something, and they never contacted them back.
Right, so they're waiting, so they're still waiting to get.
But can you imagine, and it's worth pointing out, the state of Florida passed a law a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, I think, that says anything like automatic gratuities, surcharges, delivery fees, you want a box to take your takeout in, your leftovers in, that kind of thing, it has to be stated on the menu.
Yes.
It has to be stated by state law. If they're going to charge you a 3%
surcharge, it has to be on the menu.
Venue fee, it needs to be on the menu, and I don't think that was the case here. Right. So they might be in a little bit of trouble too.
Yeah, very interesting.
So we'll have to keep an eye on this, see what happens.
And it brings up what you and I have, and we don't want people to get upset. I know I'm Switzerland, but listen, I waitressed and bartended all through college. I mean, that's how I
paid for school.
Yeah, I paid for it. When you waitress or bartend, you typically don't even make minimum wage because the money comes from the tips. Yeah. So I'm really, I'm cognizant of that, and I over-tip and sympathetic. Yeah, because I mean that's how I survived. But my Sammy brings this up too. Like for instance, and I won't mention any coffee shops or mention like popsicle shops or whatever, or lollipops or whatever, popsicles. So they give you the item, and immediately it's.
Yeah, how much do you want to leave a tip? How much you're talking about, like on the board, on the computer.
And those workers are already making at least minimum wage, or even more.
Like in coffee shops.
Yeah, coffee shops, or or
Starbucks.
Yeah, or any of those. And so Sammy says to me, and here she is, Sammy. 19 years old, and she said, "Your generation feels so guilty about tipping, but my generation," she said, "I oftentimes don't tip." She said. She calls me Mama, she's like, but Mama, when I'm at a restaurant and I see a waiter or waitress working really hard, she said, I over-tip, just like you over-tip. Right. She said, but when I look at someone that's working there and I know they're already making the money, she said, I don't. And because what's also, and I promise I'm gonna let you talk, but also what's so bothersome is, it's not, if they put, start with a 10% tip, okay, but they start at 20
or 22 even, yeah,
25.
And then you can hit custom or other.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. And I have an issue with it. Like, if I go to a coffee shop I don't tip. I'm sorry. Just like when I go to McDonald's, which I rarely do, but a fast food location, I don't give them a tip.
Right. So
why should you get a tip for making me a cup of coffee? I mean, we should. If we're doing it for places like Starbucks, should we be doing it everywhere? And I think the answer to that is no, because they are, like you said, they're making a wage. It's not like they're dependent on those tips.
They're not dependent on the tips.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you brought up McDonald's. Okay, like, whatever is McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The people that are working at the coffee shops, or the people who hand you the lollipop, or whatever. I keep on saying lollipop.
Hey, what's up with you and lollipop? What lollipop store are you going to?
Well, popsicles.
A popsicle store.
Popsicles. Because I was so turned off. It was a 25% tip. I mean, that's what it started.
Right.
With,
yeah, that's nuts.
But you're right. Aren't those workers making the same amount as? And again, nothing. Believe me, we know you're working hard. It's just that tip culture is.
It's just gotten out of control.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
You know who are the least tipped? I read this a while ago. Least tipped in the service industry that actually probably do the hardest job, that are most infrequently tipped?
Who, the busboys and
No. The people that clean your room at a hotel.
Oh, see,
you're supposed to tip them.
I know, and so that makes me want to tip them more.
Yeah.
Honestly, so, and hearing that, and thank you for bringing that up, because now I'm more cognizant of that.
And you should tip every day. Not if you're staying at the same hotel, wait until the last day that you're there to leave a nice $25 tip. You should leave $5 every day, because the same person that cleaned your room on Monday is probably not the same person cleaning it on Saturday when you check out.
See, and that's so good. So those are the people, honestly. Then yes,
and
the 25%
people, I mean,
tip.
they work hard and they deal
God.
with a lot of nasty stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I know the tipping thing. I'm sorry.
Right, the tipping thing.
It's one of those things that's it's definitely it's a conversation at our house.
Okay, so we got a couple other stories we're going to talk about. You mentioned the giraffe and the skunk, and we're also going to talk about your new review. So we'll get to that in a minute. But the giraffe. This giraffe story.
Gracie the giraffe.
Gracie the giraffe.
So she's based out of Texas, right? And she gets loose.
She got lost. She climbed up a mountain, and I think it was like she climbed up a hill, and she didn't climb back down the way she was supposed to go. She went on the other side, and which seemed a little bit curious to me.
So it's a tall order.
Tall order. We got all the puns
to get her back. To get her back
She's
into
sticking
safety.
her neck out now.
That's a good one. Yeah. So, but the
owner of the
where she
like rescue area thing,
said that there's plenty of food, like she should be fine. There's like foliage for her to eat and everything. But you would think I would think she'd be pretty easy to spot.
You think, Sarina? Yeah, I think so. Especially if she were like walking down Main Street.
Yeah.
And I think if she didn't tip at Starbucks, people would definitely notice. So apparently this is in Texas Hill Country, which they say is it's actually has the largest concentration of exotic animal captive areas.
Isn't that something?
I wonder if that's where Joe, the lion
Oh
guy,
yeah, Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, yeah. I bet you that's where he was from.
Yeah.
Of course, he's in jail right now.
Right. We should look that up.
Yeah.
Do you know that I was one of the producers for Joe Exotic, Tigers, Lies, and Cover Up?
Were you really?
Yeah, I was one of the producers for that.
No kidding.
Is that exciting? It was my first national producer credit.
No kidding.
On the big screen. Sarina Fazan.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Did you help him with obviously because it's Tampa, like?
Yeah, and I was interviewed. I was also
Carol
interviewed.
And Joseph Fritz. Do you know Joseph Fritz?
All of that.
Yeah. He's a great guy. We should have him on the show.
I know. That would be so interesting,
He's hilarious.
Right? It was interesting because it was during the COVID time and they couldn't get producers from California to Tampa. And I served as an MC for Carol Baskin's big cat rescue event when, and so they asked me to do some interviews and then I ended up helping
That's cool.
produce a series.
That's cool. It was a great show.
Thank you.
Really, it's because you were involved.
I don't know about that.
Had nothing to do with the fact that Joe Exotic is one strange dude that no one can relate to, but we were all glued to that show.
I know. So I didn't do Tiger King. I did the investigative one.
Okay,
I did the Joe Exotic.
Gotcha.
Joe Exotic, Tigers, Lies, and Cover Up.
Okay, so we got another story about the skunk.
Okay,
the skunk.
hey guys, All right, so there's this spotted skunk, and alone in Northern California.
Like in a park or like a zoo or something.
Like just by itself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be something if we put this much care and concern into people?
Other people,
too,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So there's all this concern about the skunk. So, and the San Diego Zoo was like, you know what? Oh my gosh, why don't you bring the skunk to us? Because we have other skunks.
Because the place in North Carolina was trying to find this skunk a home or a mate, you know, because they like to be paired up.
Yeah, and so
they finally
found it
a home in San Diego. And then the craziest part is there's this not-profit organization that flies animals places to be paired up. Like, it was so bizarre. I didn't write down the name of the company, but like there's literally this organization that like flies animals places when they're in need.
Yeah.
And so they funded the money to put the skunk on a plane or charter a plane. I mean, I can't imagine like a skunk being on, like, I wouldn't want a skunk on my plane if I had a plane, would you?
No. Can you imagine if someone said to you, oh, there's a skunk on the plane?
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't tell you, but we think that the skunk got really
VIP treatment on
VIP
its own
treatment.
flight.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a skunk get in his truck, and it sprayed in the truck, and they had to total the truck because they couldn't get the skunk spray out. So you definitely don't want a skunk spraying in your aircraft.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Not a good scene. And like, it's not like you just roll the windows down either. I met somebody, I'm not going to say their name, but about 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine said that she actually likes the smell of the skunk spray.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, you probably like smoking weed too, but because they kind of smell the same. But yeah, she was dead serious. She's like, I like the smell of skunk spray.
Really?
That was really bizarre.
Yeah. Can I go on the record and say that is quite bizarre?
It is very bizarre. I told her it was bizarre.
I don't think I've ever heard of anyone.
Yeah, I had never heard that either.
Yeah.
I thought it was bizarre.
Huh.
Okay, the Rays. I went to the Rays game this week.
And how was it?
The game was great. They played Kansas City, and seemed like it was a pretty good crowd. I didn't hear what the attendance number was, but it was a pretty good crowd. It wasn't like when I went to the game, like the first or second week of the start of the season, we played the Yankees on a Friday night.
Oh my gosh,
the place was like
packed.
sold out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But middle of the week wasn't a bad crowd. I got to say this though, I was very disappointed. And of course, everybody knows I am not in favor of taxpayer subsidies for the Rays baseball stadium in Tampa, but I do like the Rays. Like, I like going to the games. But my experience typically is very good. My experience this week was not so good. First of all, I bought my ticket on the MLB Park app, you know, that's where they prefer you buy it, not through Ticketmaster or StubHub or anything. So I bought it there, and then I get to the stadium, and I have the app on my phone. I show them my ticket. It's got the little moving thing. It's not just a screenshot and all that. And the reader wouldn't work. And so the lady, the ticket reader lady, had to call somebody from technical support. And they took them 5 minutes to get there. And then he gets there, and he can't figure it out. And I'm standing there for like 15 minutes. And meanwhile, you know, the game's about to start. And I was getting annoyed. And we got some pictures of it. And so he finally says, I'm just going to assign you 2 seats, and he's like, these are terrible seats. I'm giving you these so you can go through, because everyone has to have their thing read by the reader. I can't just like walk you in.
Yeah.
And he said, but you still use your own seats because you've got it showing up on the app. Nobody's going to question you. And if they did, you just show them that. Anyhow, that was just kind of annoying. And then I go and buy a beer, and the beer was not very cold.
And that is such a bummer, though, because you want a cold beer.
It was not very
game.
cold. Like, it was like, it wasn't lukewarm, but it was not very cold. Like, it's as if it had been taken out of the refrigerator and sat on a counter for half an hour. And I also ordered a pizza, and the pizza was not hot. And so yeah, my experience just wasn't great. It wasn't typical of what I think goes on at the Rays game, but so I just wanted to share that. And they won though, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And maybe they just had an off game, or off day, or off.
Vending was off, ticketing was off. Yeah.
Everything was off.
We went to Ferg's. That was fun.
Oh yeah, Ferg's is always.
There were a lot of people there at Ferg's watching World Cup soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I asked the waitress. Speaking of tipping, I asked the waitress. I said, which group of people from like supporting another World Cup team or any World Cup team is like the best tippers? And she goes, the Americans.
Yeah.
She did hands down. She's like, the Americans.
Well, because we're used to it.
Yeah.
Overseas, they do make higher salaries.
Yeah.
And
they don't tip as much.
Yeah.
If at all.
If at all.
If they do, it's like 10%.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Sarina.
Yes, Sarina's viewing room.
Sarina's viewing room. Jump right in there. I was going to give you the big build-up. You've got this new little undertaking that you're doing for fun.
This is so funny.
And you're doing reviews, right?
So, and I used to do them before just for fun. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned my vacation like earlier, right? Like we're on a boat. So I am so concentrating like on this new review. And so Ted's like, okay, we're here on a vacation. And this is something, I'm not getting paid for it. Right. I'm not, whatever. I'm like, no, I need to get it right. I need to get like the spacing right on the website. I need to get the spacing right. And I don't know, I just kind of enjoy it. Yeah. But it was just kind of funny. Like, I am one of those type of people that I'm constantly working, I think, like nonstop.
You are, you're like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, the Energizer. So I just share that with you just to let you know, like, I don't know, it's fun for me. Like, I genuinely do enjoy when I decompress with crime.
No, it's cool. Crazy. So tell us a little about, you reviewed The Witness, which is on Netflix.
On Netflix, and then you watched it, right?
I watched it, and it was really good. And your review was spot on. It was really good.
Thank you so much.
And tell us a little bit about it.
And I don't want to give any spoilers out either, but this is the true story. It's a true story of a beautiful young mother, 23 years old, who was she was brutally murdered in broad daylight in one of the most popular places in London, but it happened right in front of her 2-year-old son.
2.5-year-old son, yeah.
Yes, and they say that he's the youngest witness that they know of watched a murder like that. And also in British police history, it was one of the cases that was the most mishandled. Yeah. And so just watching the investigation, but for me, it was really the relationship between the father and the son, and how well, it gives me goosebumps, how well that part, because a lot of times we focus on the criminal and not on the family, the victims. Yeah. The way they handled it. And so it happened 36 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the father and the son, they've been asked to do multiple interviews, and they've declined. So with this Netflix series, they agreed to do it as long as they could be consultants. And they did an amazing job. And now there's a documentary as well.
About the show.
About the show, yeah.
Well, it was really good. Your review was really good. And I really enjoyed watching it. It's only a 3-part series, I think.
It's only 3 parts,
Each episode was an hour or so.
Mm-hmm. So it's like you're watching a movie,
but I got to tell you, and okay, so if you don't want to know, because I am going to give a little bit of a spoiler here, so turn off or, turn down your volume or anything. I kept expecting the father to be implicated in the murder.
Well, you know what is so interesting about that? Because the first person you always look at is a family member.
Right. Or a spouse in particular.
Or a spouse, family member, spouse. But I think it was determined really early on, though, because of his job and the location of where he was.
It wasn't him.
That it was not him. Yeah. Yes, but that's always, at the very beginning, truthfully, I thought so too.
You did too?
Yeah, at the very beginning, I'm like, oh my gosh, but it was clear that he was really far away.
Acting was phenomenal, especially the part of the father and the son and the little boy, the actor that played the little boy. Oh my God, he was so cute. And he did such a good job in that role.
Such a great job. And they look so much like
the actual people.
The real life characters. Yeah. It's really remarkable. And that father and son duo, because of them, and you'll watch it if you watch the documentary, they changed a lot of the way things are handled in the police department. Right. So they took that sadness and made
something positive. Yeah. Yeah, because Scotland Yard really screwed it up.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, believe me, there's police departments in the U.S. and things that happen. Yeah. I did try to find out and research, just because they're so beautiful, right? The father and the son, about their personal lives, if they've moved on, because I would hope
that
what
they're doing.
But
what'd you find? Not much. Nothing.
Wow. They're very, very,
very private.
Which just even makes you like them even more.
Absolutely.
I think.
They're not turning famous out of something horrible, tragic happening to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your next review going to be on?
So my next review is coming out, and it's I have been for years a Harlan Coben fan. I love Harlan Coben. He, I think, is one of the best authors in U.S. history. And for thrillers and drama and everything. And I was waiting for I Will Find You to come out. He has several books now that are TV shows, and I recommend, you know, all of them. But I Will Find You just came out. It came out on Father's Day weekend. I wanted to space it out to enjoy it, but I stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, binge watched it.
Yeah, so it's great. So that's going to come out this weekend.
That's awesome. Well, as always, it's good to see you.
Great to see you, Christopher.
And we'll have another great show, and we'll have another one next week.
Yeah, we always have.
Where are you going next?
We have. Well, believe it or not, I actually am going for work, and we haven't announced the project yet, right? But to Columbus, Ohio this weekend. Columbus, Ohio this weekend.
You're not taking your bikini to the Columbus, are you?
No.
Every story shared
adds another heartbeat to Tampa Bay.
From courage to community.
We are so proud to tell the stories that keep our neighborhood strong.
Thanks for watching The Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.